Dulé, how's it going, man? We talked during the Night of the Animated Dead sessions like a couple months
Oh,
ago.
oh, dig it. Yeah,
Yeah,
all is well, man. It's good to now see your face.
yeah, here it is. And congrats on like the Wonder Years getting like a full season pickup. So like everything
Thank you.
coming up Dulé.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. I think oftentimes when you go through journeys of life where things are really working out well in your favor, you have to take the time to appreciate it. Oftentimes we can run so fast that we don't take the time to say, this is really is a time. Let me enjoy it. And I'm so excited to be able to have the Wonder Years find some space for itself, to find some life, to get its full season pickup. At the same time, had the Night of the Animated Dead come out last week, had Hypnotic come out on Netflix, which did, I think it was like the #1 streaming movie globally. And now to be able to be sitting here talking to you about Psych 3, This Is Gus, I really could not ask for anything more. It's a wonderful, wonderful time.
Well, and to that point, let's dive into this. I was so happy to see like less than a year after you guys helped launch Peacock, you guys are back with a brand new movie. And This Is Gus. How was it kind of coming back with such a quick turnaround? And what did you want to see in particular? You're an executive producer on this thing. How is it kind of like working with Steve and James to make sure like the story continued?
I mean, the good thing about when you've done a show for 8 years or 8 seasons, and then you've been able to do 2 movies, you know how to do it. I think the crew knows how to come together and make it happen. The actors know the characters, and we're able to make it happen. And you can really turn things around very quickly from the paper, like Steve Franks and James Roday's mind, to the editor at the end, who's color correcting and everything like that. Everyone knows exactly what the show is, so it allows for a quick turnaround. I really want to see exactly what we are seeing. Being that Sailor was somebody who was new to the Psych world, and Psych fans are still getting to know Sailor, I'd love the idea of being able to see more of her backstory, because it's pretty much, to me, Sailor is just a female Sean. That's all she is. That's probably why Gus loves her so much. And Sean, of course, has such a wacky background. He's had so countless jobs and been all over the place doing a whole bunch of nonsense. I thought it would be a lot of fun for us to see the history of Sailor and fill in some of her blanks a little bit. And that's what they've done. They've done that with this movie. We get a chance to, even though the movie is called This Is Gus, it really should be This Is Sailor, because we learned about the wild ride that is Sailor Gilmore.
Yeah,
It makes sense that it's called This Is Gus because Gus's lady picker isn't always the best. There's always going to be something that goes awry when it comes to Gus and relationship. And that's why I think it makes sense also to be like, This Is Gus, because go figure, this is who he ends up with.
Well, with a family that's as firm, like you're saying, it's 8 years and 3 movies now. Like, how was it incorporating Jasmine into that cast and into that family? I mean, clearly there's no issue of chemistry between you guys, but like, how was it like incorporating her into this family and giving her more to do with this movie?
It's been great. I mean, from Psych 1, when Jasmine did her first scene, when she came on as Sailor, we knew that she was the right fit. Everyone knew that, okay, this is the match for Gus. We've been trying to figure this out for 8 seasons, and we finally have landed the plane. And she's a phenomenal actress. She's a phenomenal actress, a brilliant writer. Side note, she has a children's book coming out spring of 2022 called Most Perfect You, being released by Random House. It's a wonderful book that I think the Psychos would really love, because Psychos are about being unique. Psychos are about owning who you are, your wackiness, your quirkiness, and not really caring about other people's point of view of you. And that's what her book, The Most Perfect You, is about. That we are all very unique in our very own way. And it leads us in the way of loving ourselves. So anyone who has children, nieces, nephews, I say check out the book when it comes out, Most Perfect You. But anyway, she's been phenomenal. I mean, to be able to now we knew that she could handle the material, to have the story ride on her back. We knew that she could do it because she's a seasoned actress. She's done so many wonderful roles, from Ballers to Raising Dion. And now to be able to expand that universe, that story some more for Sailor, I think will be really good for the Psychos to, I guess, endear her that much more to the Psych world, so that as we go forth into the next movies, we can see, we can really start running our race.
Sure. In addition to Selene, I mean, this really, in a way, like, if Sean is always trapped in Arrested Development, like Gus has always been like somehow your character kept a day job like in pharmaceuticals during the
Right.
series and everything. This is really his kind of like coming of age, and it puts that friendship into examination. Like your character, like Gus, is taking the next step. Like
Right.
how is it kind of working that out, and kind of like with those scenes that you've got with James as they kind of reevaluate where their friendship stands in light of like a wedding and a child and everything coming up.
I mean, I think anytime you're doing a comedy, you want to be able to, I guess, land the plane at certain points to ground it a little bit.
Mhm.
And I feel that story point is something that is grounding the movie, is the evolution of Gus, him trying to grow into a man, grow into having a family. This is something he's always desired, and trying to evolve beyond the place that he is. And Sean not really being ready to let that go, not being ready to let Gus spread his wings. Of course, we're doing it in our psych way, so it's gonna be filled with with a bunch of comedy and ridiculousness.
Yeah.
But that is what I think that story is doing. And look, I mean, I think Gus doesn't ever like to admit that he really does love the joyride that Sean brings him on. And as I said before, Selenay is a female Sean. In the end, I see that there's going to be, I think in a future movie, you'll see Selenay and Sean having a conversation saying, "You are me." No, you are me. No, you are me. Because they really are mirrors of each other. It makes perfect sense that that's who Gus would fall in love with, because she's going to take him on a wacky ride as well.
The other thing that I love about this movie is, you know, Tim's literally back on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing him in a bigger capacity in this role, and kind of, you know, charting his recovery. How is it kind of working with him on set again after he had the more reduced role in the previous movie?
You know, beyond being the Psych movies being a way to check in with the Psychos and move the story along, mm-hmm. on a personal note, it's such a check-in with Tim Robinson, seeing the strides that he's made over the years. From the first Psych movie, we had to have a real diminished role because he was just thankfully recovering from a stroke, to seeing the strides that he has made. It really is inspiring. He's truly one of my heroes. I tell him all the time, because in the midst of adversity, he has not only survived, but he is thriving. And he's so inspiring in his journey. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And now he's here on the third Psych movie, bringing comedy gold as well. Which, you know, in classic Tim fashion, he's just bringing all the juicy comedy, bringing laughter in all of his scenes. So I'm thankful to see, like Psych the cast and the Psychos. We are all one big family. I think when Tim went through that, it affected us, but also affected the Psych fans as well. And these all just check-in moments where we all get a chance to see where we are. And seeing Tim do what he does is marvelous. I look forward to seeing the next Psych movie, because I think we'll just keep seeing him improve more and more. And I hope that it's inspiring to anybody who may be going through a similar journey as Tim.
Sure.
Just to say, like, if Tim can do it, so can I. That's the hope that people will walk away with. If Lassie can do it, so can I.
Yeah. You know, something as a longtime Psych fan, I've always kind of wondered, and we get to see it again this movie, and Selenay gets to join in with it, because like you said, she's like Sean, and Gus even enjoys the ride. Where did the idea for the Gus and Sean and now Selenay bounce come from? Where you guys just get so excited the moment that you all just stoically bounce in place?
I think that started in the pilot. I think if you go back and watch the pilot, and I'm surprised I even remember this, but we had solved a case. And I think we were like in the woods somewhere. We solved the case, and we just both were so hyped that it just happened organically. And from there, it has just evolved. That's what evolved, you know, each step of the way. But I think it was an improv with Rodin. We just were so excited, like in the middle of it, we were so excited that we solved the case, and we started doing our little celebration dance. And from there, it is evolved, you know, to the nasty dance, to the chocolate dance, to all kinds of dances.
You've hinted at additional Psych films beyond this. Where would you personally like to see everything go next, including Gus?
Ooh, that's a good one. Where would I like to see it go next? I mean, we've learned about Selenay and and her dark past, I think I would love to see it go somewhere where we start to really figure out what's going on with Chief Vic's husband. That would be good. Somewhere in the next 2 or 3 movies, I'd love to see us really start digging deeper about Chief Vic's husband. Because, we hear about him, but I mean, what does he look like? You know what I mean? It's like,
they clearly had a kid at some point.
They definitely had a kid at some point. He can't look like Val Kilmer because, that's Dobson. So he can't be that. Maybe he looks like Rob Lowe. I don't know. Who knows?
Manifest that in the universe. Let's get that Rob Lowe action.
Exactly.
That St. Elmo's fire.
Exactly.
Awesome.